He's made armor for the horse and a saddle. And he also has his own weapon, like a primitive sword cleaver. For you, Jim, what kind of weapon do you want?
Well, it depends on the contest, I suppose, but just his sword is fine otherwise.
Saloon time is over. The contest seems to start in the subterranean track that's been opened up not far from the saloon. Sugarray rides his giraffe down a ramp, and it seems like it is time for you to follow. The giraffe is huge. It's a very, very, very tall animal with a very long set of necks. 3 necks, each one ending in a giraffe head that has a fanged mouth and a split tongue, almost dragon-like. The actual track itself, once you get down the ramp, is massive. It seems to run through the entire ship. For those of you who aren't involved in the race, there is a screen where you can watch the race taking place. It looks like, Jim, it's going to be a race with jumps, so hurdles, and shooting at targets.
Oh, I'm gonna need some sort of gun then.
Kev would have provided you with one, or he could use the gun. His vision isn't that good.
Kev, would you rather steer the horse?
I don't know if I want to touch that thing. Sure, yeah. With your aim, it should be all right, I guess. You just have to rely on Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Once you guys change positions and Kev's in the front, he grabs the reins and immediately freezes up. Oh, I don't like this horse at all.
You think you can ride it?
No, it's fine, I guess. Something off about it. The horse just kind of, Jim, you can hear it going, yes, sanity.
Oh, I think it's drinking you, Kev.
What?
It keeps saying how it eats sanity. I think it's eating your sanity.
What?
I don't know. That's what the horse said.
What? I have to steer this. You have to shoot. So you better not miss, or I'll fucking kill you.
Oh, all right.
Sorry. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's win this, man. Fucking win this.
Oh, all right. Just don't be crazy by the end of it.
The horse, giraffe both pull up to the starting line. Sugarray rides atop this monstrous steed with great confidence in his posture. Seems like if he didn't know how to do this before, he learned very, very quickly how to do it. He just kind of glances over at the pair of you and then looks forward towards the tunnel that is your racetrack.
Jim will wish him good luck.
Before you start, a vaporous black cloud will linger over the starting line. This will be an interesting match. Are there any rules that you would like? He looks over at Sugarray. Sugarray shakes his head. You?
No targeting the other
Humans.
racer.
Fair and fine. No shooting each other, boys. The black cloud smiles, a wide smile that just dissipates as it floats away.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, there is a red light in the middle on a display. It's counting down. Sugarray gripping the reins of the giraffe hydra.
Okay, Jim is ready.
The light shifts to yellow and the air begins to hum, buzz with energy. Kev kind of tightens grip on the reins of MK Ultra, gets ready. Can already tell from the gravity that Kev is putting off that he is extremely tense. He has a family back home, and when the light turns green, he gives the reins a sharp snap and drives MK Ultra forward. It doesn't matter to him if he loses his sanity. He can't lose this fucking race. MK Ultra is powered by that sanity, that drive, and you can tell in just how powerful this horse is. It leaps forward, thrusts, and drives down the track. The giraffe, this whipping maelstrom, just is cranking its head around, just thrashing as it rides at also a very fast speed. This thing has had God knows how long to just run free range on the surface of the moon, eating whoever's unfortunate enough to wander out past the civilized boundaries of Artemis. And Sugarray is a cool rider. He is keeping his calm even though he's riding pretty much like this chaotic monster. The first hurdle approaches. With a 7, you jump over so smoothly that it's like MK Ultra is gliding through the air. With a 6, the Giraffe Hydra does the same, though it's not as quick and not as smooth to land, only slightly above. You're going now just a bit ahead, Jim, and the first target pops up. Go ahead and give me a night shot. With a 5, you manage to strike the target, though. So that's good. Sugarray also approaching his first target on his side. You've seen shooters out in the field. You've seen soldiers. Sugarray, when he lines up to aim, is like just as cool and calm as you've seen any gunner be under any circumstance. Like he is a professional. He lands a shot straight on into the bullseye and completely demolishes the first target that pops up. It doesn't even seem like it was difficult for him to line up that shot to make it, even though this Raph Hydra that he's on is going crazy. Like its head is whipping just back and forth. In fact, one of those heads actually swings as he pulls his giraffe a little closer towards, actually swings at your horse.
Oh, figures they cheat. All right. Guess I should swing my sword at it? Oh, my.
Well, you're currently holding that gun.
That's true.
So-
I guess I'll shoot at it.
No shooting. Not allowed. If you try to shoot his mount, he's going to shoot yours. It's up to you. You could let Kev handle it. You can try to create an advantage if you'd like.
I'm not sure how I would do that. I guess I could rifle butt it. That's not shooting it.
It's true. Or you could shoot the track ahead of it to try to shoot something in the way, or shoot something above head to drop on it, or, those sorts of things.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's shoot something that will fall in the way of the track.
Just give me a shoot roll. Knight again. Okay, you create an advantage for Kev, or for rather MK Ultra. Get an 8 instead, so a +2 when it rides away from the thrashing. Although it seems for a moment that MK Ultra wanted to go into the thrashing head, Kev successfully pulls the reins enough to get it to avoid. You do notice that when that happens, Kev actually goes, "Ugh! Ugh! Ah!"
No, steady, buddy, steady.
He whips the reins. Over the next hurdle, the horse leaps and glides again. This is a much, much stronger, swifter mount than your dog back home, to say the least.
Yeah, no kidding.
And the Giraffe Hydra also makes his jump, but again, falling behind your mount. Sugarray looks annoyed at this. He actually saw what you did earlier when you shot down a piece of the ceiling, and begins to whir up his projectiles to pelt the area around you to create potholes, craters in the track ahead of you, which he starts to launch off. And he does. He's created an obstacle in your path. You have some things that you can do that aren't just shooting. So you have an approach that is different from, I think, anyone else's. Fantasy is your approach for doing things according to adventure and kind of the mad fiction that you've been caught up in, like the go with the flow, kind of like embrace the chaos, the adventure role. Yeah. So I will tell you, you can either use Knight or you can use adventure to try to overcome this opposition that's ahead of you. But the one for fantasy is lower because you are on the Mount of Madness and you are on an adventure. This is a knightly kind of combat contest that you're in against a dastardly opponent, apparently.
Let's do fantasy.
You allow yourself to slip into the madness of fantasy for a moment, and you see a dragon with a powerful dark knight on the back, almost skeletal and undead, who has glowing eyes and is missing the bottom half of their mouth. Their skeletal mouth is gone, riding through the tunnels of death with skeletal hands that are gripping and tearing out at the sides through this giant mausoleum of sorts, this necropolis that you're racing through. This dragon, great and black, is spouting flames from its mouth and menacing you. But in this moment where you've slipped into the fantasy just for a second, like you feel as though the protection of the moon goddess is upon you, and that the silvery light, the holy nature of your mission, allows you and your companion, who is a much smaller, crazier looking version of Kev, to push forward with a 6. It's an invocation of your paradoxical aspect, Guardian, I believe, or something of that nature. It is the thing that you got when Germanata was defeated and you corrected the timeline. There's always been something a little bit off about your existence since then, and this is one of those moments. There was a point where you feel like your horse would have tripped, maybe broken its ankle, if it can even break its ankles, if it even has ankle. But that moment doesn't happen because your fantasy, your paradigm is so strong that it just completely overrides that possibility and instead substitutes the one from this fantasy world that you are presently in, or at least temporarily. Your horse charges forward. Your loyal friend, Kev, manages to keep control. In this dragon, you can actually see it roar with anger as you do not fall into the trap it has laid. The rider clenching his fist at you and cursing in some sort of ancient, forgotten eldritch tongue. When you snap back to reality, you do see that Sugarray is clenching his fist at you and shaking it. He's not saying anything, of course. And the no less fantastic Hydra giraffe is whipping its head around furiously that you've managed to get past that part. But Sugarray needs to pay attention to the road because he is about to aim at a target that is coming up, and so are you. So go ahead and give me ye old night roll. Passive opposition on this one is 4. You hit it, and he hits his as well. The time that it took for your horse to properly ride over the craters in the ground and the kind of speed at which he took that target and is able to keep going without moderating his own pace means that you are now pretty much neck and neck, although he's slightly ahead, because of the actual necks of his Hydra. This seems like it will be the last leg of the race. As you have been running through the arteries of this ship, you've noticed that the construction is vast. And this is just like the system through which it seems like wires, cables, and various tubes run. So you've been really traversing quite a bit of this structure. But now you are on the last part of it. Sugarray actually looks over at your pack there, the two of you and your horse. For a moment, you can see that he wants to just spin up his projectiles and fire them off at you directly, but he doesn't. Instead, he begins to pull ahead slightly even more and climb up onto the head of his giraffe, the central head, off of the saddle, climbs up on it, and then elbows it in the head to cause it to drop down onto the ground, pushing forward, being just shoved along the ground like a wheelbarrow. It causes the speed to drop slightly, but what it does in exchange is allow him to reach down forward ahead of you and his mount and put his hands to the ground. You can see actually the skin on his palms is beginning to peel off and reveal black, icy material beneath, which is quickly spreading, spider cracking through the surface of the tunnel and freezing the environment. The giraffe is freaking out. The two remaining heads that haven't been knocked out are just whipping and flailing everywhere. Sugarray manifests a ice spike and holds it to the throat of the center one so that the other two get the message and keep running forward.